Good evening. My name is Un Svanström, and I am a UX and product designer. Tonight, we are going on a journey together into a magical tool we like to call Figma. In this sleep story, I will be sharing with you the boring tribulations of how scrolling works in Figma prototypes. So sit back and relax as I take you on this journey. If this is a sleep story, maybe we should begin by making the background of Figma a little bit darker. Yes, way more soothing. I am going to place these sleepy animals onto my artboard. My artboard is too small. The easiest way to make a scrollable prototype in Figma is really just to elongate your artboard. Stretch out that artboard and make it longer. This tutorial is perfect for when you want to relax, but still think about work-related topics. So it's really about having efficient relaxation time. Wow, that sounds stupid. Now if I press play, what will happen? We will have sleepy cats and be able to scroll down to sleepy dogs. Good dog. Okay, so that was very, very straightforward. Let's now challenge ourselves with a side scroll that has a background image. Let's first place this image of a seagull into the artboard. First, let's try making the artboard longer and pressing play. What will happen? Now I can scroll sideways. But what if we want the image not to scroll, but have scrollable items on top of an image that is still? What do? We make the artboard smaller again and place our image where we want it. I wonder when I took this photo of the seagull in a sunset, it must have been a while ago. So now I would like to insert this seagull into my artboard. Now I have unclicked clip content so we can see what is in the artboard but outside of it. This seagull should be outside of the frame, but we want it to scroll in. We also need to make a prototype setting for overflow behavior and set that to horizontal scrolling. Horizontal is the same direction as the horizon, that way. Now let's try this again. Uh-oh, that is not the intended result at all. We want the background image to stay in place. This just looks silly. We'll go back here, and for this image, we will check the option Fix Position when scrolling. Now let's try this is happening? That's not good. I know what's wrong. When you click fixed position when scrolling, this image right here will place itself above all these scrolling elements. So we need to do this another way. Mark the image and unclick fixed position when scrolling. I'll just crop this image so that it's not so distracting. So now I will make another artboard within this artboard. Within this artboard, we do not want this background image, but we do want the GIF. So for frame 1, let's uncheck clip content. Select frame 1 and click prototype. Then go to overflow behavior and check horizontal scrolling. And for this entire artboard, we need to select no scrolling. But frame 1 has horizontal scrolling. Oh, I am scrolling sideways, and in comes this seagull wearing sunglasses. How very peculiar. To be able to make the seagull scroll all the way across the dusky sky, I will make this shape and place it in frame 1. I will place this element all the way over here, and I will make it invisible. Now, when I scroll sideways, in comes this obnoxious seagull wearing sunglasses to ruin my image. And it can fly all the way out just like that. We have now made a prototype where there is a fixed background image, but with the scrollable items up top. I'm now going to show you a really cool way to make a transition that's not quite scrolling, unless you are on your phone, where you're dragging and scrolling feel very similar. I have now made some shapes on this artboard just to illustrate how we can make a nice drag transition. And first, I will duplicate this artboard and move my objects. So when I drag this square, we will transition to this artboard. I will choose a Smart Animate with one of these new animation patterns that I am quite fond of. And I will make the animation last for a long time, because you don't want to be in a hurry when you are sleepy. So now, when I drag here, they move. Imagine that you are on an iPad. It's a very new iPad, so there are no scratches in the glass. And you take your finger and slowly drag it along the smooth glass. Can you feel the sensation in your finger of that smoothness? On a touch device, drag is a great way to prototype a cool scroll effect. Think about that in your future prototypes. Now, for our last scroll example, this is a rather crap image of a sunset that I once took on the subway. We are now going to make a gradient version of this sky and scroll through it. So click on your artboard and fill it with a gradient rather than a solid fill. I choose the color picker and select one of these deep purples. On the other side, we want this bright golden yellow. Now we have a rather terrible gradient, if I may say so myself. So what you want to do in order to make your colors behave better when you are working with gradients is to add many steps in between. So click anywhere in the middle of this gradient bar to add another color, and then you can pick another hue. Space out your colors in a way that feels good to you. There we have a gradient background. Now let's try making this artboard longer. If I have this gradient in the background on a long artboard, what do we think will happen when I click play on this prototype? These dots are just to demonstrate how the scrolling behaves. This is not the expected look that we had. This is very strange of you, Figma, to squish my long gradient into the frame. But this is what happens when you have your gradient background as the fill of your artboard. If you want this effect of a long gradient, you must do it differently. Elongate this artboard and make a rectangle inside of it. I will now copy the style from this artboard by clicking Option Command C. I will mark this rectangle and paste the style by pressing Option Command V. Now let's play this prototype that we have some dots in there for reference. Now, here we go. We can now scroll through our gradient. Let's invert this. Sit back in your chair or wherever you are and make yourself comfortable. We are now going to start scrolling through this sunset. Feel your eyelids getting heavier as the color changes. Today was a day. Tomorrow we'll have a new shot. Tomorrow's going to be a good day. Good night. I hope you have enjoyed this sleep story about scrolling. Sleep well, and don't forget to like and subscribe. That will make me sleep well.